Hello, everyone. So good to have you here today. We're just going to give some few minutes for yes. Just gonna give a few minutes for everyone to join. But if you are seeing this face today, thank you so much for joining. And today we'll basically be talking about the future of marketing as we are going to a new year this year. And then we have some very exciting speakers to come and speak today. So yeah, if you join and if you're live, you can just indicate that you're live, so we just see, and then just know how many people are here. If there's something insightful from the conversation that you are having, that you're hearing, you can just like tweet it, and then use the hashtag marketing in 2024, and then we'll be retweeting it. So I will have our founder here soon, but just as a quick introduction, my name is Gift Aku. I'm the community manager for this amazing community, Marketers Hub. We're basically a community for smart marketers who are looking to build global marketing careers. That is just what we are. So everything, every resources, opportunities to help you get to the point where your marketing career is the best it could ever be. That is what we are here for. And yeah, in this conversation today, we are going to be talking about the future of marketing because it's important. Marketing is ever changing, and it is important that you have the best information to stay equipped to know how to stand out in your career. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And if there's anything that you find insightful, please tag us on Instagram, on Twitter. We'll be live, and then just tweet at us whatever you learn. Today we have some exciting speakers, but before our exciting speakers, just come and then also introduce themselves, we have our founder, Aisha Owolabi, to just speak about something which is really exciting. I don't want to give too much, but super exciting. So I'm just going to add her to the stage now, and she will let you know. Okay. Aisha,
Hello. Hi. Thank you, Gift, for bringing me on stage. And thanks to everyone who's joining right now. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. I definitely don't want to take too much time away from the event, but I wanted to share something absolutely exciting that myself and the team at Marketers Hub have been working on the entire year. Before I go into it, I'm going to do a quick introduction. My name is Aisha Owelabi. I am the founder of Marketers Hub, and I'm also a content marketer currently living and working in London. And I'm really excited to be here with you today. So at Marketers Hub, just as Gift said, our goal is to consistently provide the resources and opportunities that marketers all across Africa need to grow in their careers. And something very interesting happened this early this year. We saw a very unique opportunity. There's so many challenges and uncertainties that early to mid-level marketers face in their careers. Personally, I talk to at least like three early stage or mid-level marketers weekly, and this is something I've done consistently for almost 2 years now. And in these conversations, there are some things that are just always recurring. There are always questions around like navigating the marketing landscape, figuring out how to do your best work, overcoming things like imposter syndrome, getting recognition for your work, and making better decisions, both in your work and in career overall. And having heard these areas of discussion consistently for pretty much, like I said, almost 2 years now, the team and I decided to do something about it. And for the first time ever, I am incredibly happy to announce, like we've never talked about this project publicly before, but I'm very, very happy to announce that Marketers Hub is launching our first ever book this November 2023. We are calling it Inside the Marketer's Room, and it contains career insights from over 50 marketers across every single continent of the world. And we've written Inside the Marketer's Room for professionals like you, passionate marketers who are looking to succeed globally. The goal is that this book will guide you on your career journey, bringing you insights from a wide range of topics, including things like innovative campaign strategies and how to balance creativity and data driven decision making. We've come together with all of these global leaders to bring you things like actionable insights, practical strategies, and essentially, I like to think about it as a fresh perspective to staying ahead in our evolving industry. I am so excited by this project because I've been reading the book over and over again, working on it in the last couple of months, and I just can't believe what we've created. I think it's a very, very valuable resource, and I'm really looking forward to the feedback from the community. So mark your calendars. We are going to make the book available for pre-order from the 13th of November. And of course, we'll be sharing a lot of information about the book across our social channels. So if you are not part of the community, you need to go to our website, www.smartclasshub.com, to join us now and make sure that you are getting all of the valuable information and you're getting the book, early as soon as it's dropping. And you can be part of the conversation. We would love to know what you think. So before I leave the stage, before I leave the stage, I'm also a bit nervous because this is the first time I'm talking about this, and I think I'm feeling a mix of excitement right now and nerves. So thanks for listening. But before I leave the stage and let Gift lead us into the fantastic discussion that we have planned for you today, I just want to share one thought. You need to be excited. Be excited for the insights, the growth, and the opportunities that Inside the Marketer's Room will bring to you. Thank you so much for listening. And Gift, over to you. Take it away.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Aisha. Um, thank you very much for that, insightful time. Like, Inside the Marketer's Room is coming, and it is going to be awesome. I have the privilege to actually see the backstage work, and it is awesome. So before further ado, I'm just going to have our panels actually introduce themselves and just talk about the great work they are doing. Today we've brought experts from different marketing field because marketing is so broad and no one can ever know it all. So what we've done is just to take the best of the best from each of this niches to come and speak from the perspective of their particular niche. And I think it's going to be exciting. So if you're a content marketer, growth marketer, social media marketer, content creator, growth marketer, we have every expert here to actually answer the question. It's going to be a very insightful time. We're talking about marketing in 2024. If you have questions, put it on the chat. And if there's something that you're learning, you can tweet about it using the hashtag marketing in 2024. So I'm just going to have our speakers join us now. Very exciting. Hello everyone. So we have Uchechi is yet to join us yet, but hopefully she's able to join soon. She's representing as a social media marketer for this conversation. But I'm just going to let our esteemed panel actually introduce themselves, tell us a bit about their careers, their journeys, and we'll start the conversation. All right, over to you, Shay. Starting with
Oh
you.
wow, not me wants to start the the conversation. But hi everyone, my name is Oluwase Classic. I am a content creator and an online personality. And yeah, I basically talk for a living. I make funny videos for a living. I look good. I enjoy myself. I'm known as the Minister of Enjoyment. Anywhere there's enjoyment, you're gonna see me there. Any other place, I'm not gonna be found. Okay, that is my thing. So I get to work with really cool brands to bring their visions to life. So speak anything, influencer marketing, come to me. I'm also a marketing graduate myself. I have a master's in digital marketing and data analytics. So it's very much an area that I decided to go into to in order to on my own craft better. So I use the art of storytelling to capture consumers for brands to take advantage of. And that is me.
Awesome, awesome. So good to meet you, Shay. So just moving to the next person, Onyechi.
Hi, I'm really excited to be here. My name is Onyinyechi. I am a product marketer. I think what is really exciting about my career is that I wasn't always a product marketer. So I've sort of done everything. So I did start off with doing social media, and then I did content for some time. And then I moved into product marketing, I think 3 years ago. Um, and now I sort of feel like I'm moving away from being a marketer at the core because a lot of the work that I do now is strategy around marketing, of course, but it's around strategy and it's around like customer engagement and it's around like product leadership, really. Um, I hope that I can share about like data and the insights that I've gotten over like the years. And I also hope that I'm able to sort of like use all of that insights to say, oh, these are my predictions about marketing in 2024. I'll be speaking a lot about my experiences and my thoughts, and I guess my predictions as well. And I also think this is a lovely panel. I'm hoping to learn a lot as well. So I think everyone that is listening in is going to have a blast. Yeah, that's it.
I agree. I agree. Thank you so much, Onyechi. The next person, Oiza. Hi, Oiza. Can you introduce yourself a bit?
Sure. Hi, my name is Oiza. I don't have a master's in marketing. I like to call myself an explorative marketer. I've been in marketing for about 6 years now, but I have a background in computer science. And in marketing, I've just like Onyechi, I've explored across product marketing, growth strategy, and currently working as a growth marketing manager at Google, supporting EMEA, so Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Um, I guess that's like the summary about me, but I also do startup mentorship. So that's what I do in my free time, startup mentorship and consulting with early career individuals, like coaching around just, career paths in marketing and all of that. I'm excited, really excited to be here and just learn and chat and get thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Oiza. I really love how just diverse like every speaker here is. I mean, Shay with his masters, giving us pressure. And it's super amazing. Super amazing. Thank you. So the last person for now is Chima before we have like Uchichi join us. So hi Chima, can we hear a bit about you?
Hi. I always have trouble describing myself or what I do. I always feel so awkward. I think my name is Chima. I think. Yes, that's my name. My name is Chima. I do content marketing. Honestly, I don't have anything else to say. In the moment, if you ask me about myself, I freeze. Okay, I have an MSc. What did I study again? Um, Digital marketing. Wait. Something related to digital marketing. Yeah, something around digital marketing, Sha. I have an MSc somewhere around digital marketing. My background was in SEO, but also doing content marketing. That's it.
That is awesome. I'm just gonna say it's awesome. I did see like your graduation picture on LinkedIn. I was just like, awesome. I'm so glad that we there's just so much like the fact that marketing has actually evolved to a place where you can actually like take your masters in it and just be better. So it's just super exciting. I know that I'm going to do my masters in marketing one day, maybe. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. So we're just going to like just get right into the panel. Thank you so much everyone for introducing yourself so far. So we're just going to like go right into like the nitty gritty of today, which is like marketing in 2024. We're just going to get perspective from like each of your careers and then what you think. And so the first question, in your opinion, so anybody can just go first. But if no one is speaking, I can just like mention your name. So this is just a fun chat. So, in your opinion, what are the most significant marketing trends to expect in 2024? And how can marketers, especially in your niche, prepare within like, their specific marketing niche? So, okay, Chima, just like, set
Yeah.
this very
Yeah,
well.
no worries.
Everybody shouting your name in the comments. So,
Yeah. That's fine. So, I do content marketing and I do SEO at that intersection. And last year, if I remember correctly, October, September, I can't remember, I was on a show and no, it was a book they were writing and they asked me to predict what was going to happen in content marketing in 2023. And I predicted the rise of AI. At the time, there was no ChatGPT, there was none of all this stuff going on, but I could already see the trend coming. And when it happened, I was like, give me my throne, give me my throne. So It's still going to continue. That's still going to be my prediction for next year. We've seen a lot of adoption for AI, but I think it's going to be way more. I think we're going to see more AI tools coming out, doing more AI functions, automating more stuff that we didn't even think was possible. So just to make sure I didn't forget, I wrote down a few things. So we're already using AI to do stuff like keyword research, clustering, segmentation, ideation, analyzing user behavior, and the rest. But I think that going into 2024, you have to start thinking of how can you stand out from the mass of AI generated content that already exists out there. And that has to be creating original content that AI cannot replicate. So going into 2024, everybody who is a content marketer, who does strategy, needs to be thinking, how do we create original content that helps us stand out for the crowd? How do we position as authorities? And I think that has to do with creating case studies, creating reports, creating in-depth articles, thinking of content now in an omni-channel format where you can meet users outside of the SERPs so that you can own your channels and not depend on SERP. We're starting to see more ads on SERP results like Google. We're starting to see Google use their own AI to generate results with generative AI. And I believe that if they go towards the path of ChatGPT and they give us conversational AI, then it's over for the SERPs. That's what I see happening. I don't know if Google is going to get there, but I think if they get towards conversational AI, then we're going to see less SERPs. We're going to see less results on SERP that people are clicking on because the answers will be in those generative results. That means that if you want to get traffic, you need to start looking away from Google. I'm sorry, I know that always I see, I don't care. You need to start looking away from Google and start thinking of how can you create communities, how can you create channels outside of getting traffic from Google, because Google is a monopoly that just wants to give that result right there on the SEP. So start thinking outside of all of that. And then this brings us to the next thing, the ascent of thought leadership. As we start to see more AI content, we're also going to start seeing more content that is not verifiable, more content that is just mass produced, and people turning towards thought leaders for truth. You want to be that thought leader that they're turning to. That means that you want to be creating brands, you want to be positioned as the source of truth that people turn to, the name that people are Googling when they're looking for information around the specific topic. And I'm thinking now, because I'm seeing a lot of brands already turning to thought leaders to write content for them so that they can attach their brand name and borrow thought leaders leadership from individuals, and then individuals borrowing thought leadership from brands. So that's something to think about into next year. How do we borrow expertise from thought leaders? How do we position our brands as thought leaders so that we become the authoritative source of truth as people are running away from mass generated content and looking for resources that they can trust? That's it.
Awesome. Wow. I feel like you've set the stage. Like, that is so true. Like, what you talked about, like, just looking away from SERPs, because I realized that these days when I have questions, I actually go to ChatGPT more than actually go to Google. And this is like super, I haven't really thought about it like this much, but thank you so much, like, for setting the stage. There was a small shade, like, thrown to Olisa, so I'm just going to go to her next about, like, what she thinks about, like, just like, what the future is, like, especially for, like, growth marketers, like, listening and watching this.
I guess first a disclaimer that my thoughts are mine. I'm not that company. Just before I get into into that, so there's that. And I mean, thank you, Chima. Because I completely, well, not completely, I partly agree with you that 2024 AI is definitely a trend that we see coming. But I think it's already here. What we're going to definitely see coming is like more AI powered tools for smarter work. And I'm going to speak about this from marketing specifically. I think that what we'll see coming going forward as well, what I think is likely to go on next year are more creatively personalized marketing. I call it more individualized marketing, where um, we we look at an individual and market to them versus thinking about it from marketing to people. It's creating more seamless user journeys and integration, meeting people where they are, and just making sure that I think the word for it, or the word that I want to give to it, is more organic marketing, where it doesn't even feel like marketing, but it is in fact marketing. It's seeing more brands um, seamlessly integrate into the culture of the people that they are marketing to. And a lot of this might come from, like, having the collaborative support of like AI tools. And so, as a growth marketer, one of the things you want to think about is how to leverage these tools to be, I call it your marketing assistant, to help you be more smarter and be more creative. I also think that because, like Chima mentioned, there's going to be a whole lot of tools, like different ones springing up right, left, and center. You really want to hone in on, like, what do you want to sort of build out for your specific area of focus? If you're in growth marketing, what are some of the tools that you think would help you better? Whether it's creatively or like having more data structured marketing versus, just getting all there in the air, like, and the noise that is around AI. So being very focused on that would definitely help. And some of this would also require you to practice and be experimental, and where you cannot leverage people that are already experimenting. You already have thought leaders in this space. As the year goes by, they're also thinking about it from this angle, and I think that it's connecting with them and seeing how they are leveraging some of these tools to see how you can leverage it, improve on yourself, even understand the concept of AI in general. So if you haven't already, I think that it would be great for you to understand what things like Gen AI mean, like how what artificial intelligence is, machine learning, how do all of these things connect? Because at some point, the understanding of this also helps you understand how you can leverage it. At the end of the day, some of those things are things made by us men, and we're smarter. So the smartness of whatever you use, tool you use, determine is partly based on what you give to it, what your input to it is. So at the end of the day, you would, you know, need to understand those things to be able to use them as you should, or use them to be your marketing assistant.
That is awesome. I like what I really love what you said about like just leveraging tools. I think in the beginning of the day, everybody was trying to just shy away from using AI because it just feels like something that would, just overshadow us and just make AI replace us. But I realized that, just using it, utilizing it for your process has actually like, helped. And there's more to learn and there's just more to grow from it. So thank you very much, Oliza, for that. I want to throw the next like this question to Shay because Chima has mentioned thought leadership, and then also Oiza also mentioned like organic marketing. That's like very closely related to like influencer marketing. The fact that we need thought leaders to actually just add their voices to with brands. So what are your thoughts like with predictions and just like where like influencers fall into that?
I feel like for 2024, influencer marketing is going to rise even more and it's going to be very, very, very up there when it comes to marketing strategies being implemented. Like right now, I think every single brand is trying to see how much they can relate to their consumers better. So, how can I put this out there? How can I convert without also trying? How can I build brand awareness? How can I build loyalty? And a lot of them have seen that it is through influencer marketing that you would be able to use this. Utilizing my own following, for instance, if you want to target certain people living in the UK, I have a huge UK audience. Okay, you could leverage on my audience with me that I'm already very much trusted, and I would then use my own storytelling skills to pitch pitch to the pitch what I'm selling to these consumers and they buy it. So I feel like influencer marketing, although it's already really big, I feel like it's going to go to a different level. And as much as AI is the next big thing, you cannot throw away the UGC that we are going to create, because like regardless, whenever you're using influencers to reach your consumers, everyone is going to create distinctive content and you can't create the same thing, right? Which is very important. So that way you it's always very fresh, it's always very new with influencers as well. And you're going to get a message across. So I actually see the rise of influencer marketing getting there because a lot of people still used to shy away from using influencers to push their stuff. But like I feel like COVID has already helped us show how important it is when everything else is not working, you can still make use of social media to pass your messages across. So I see that's been on the rise. And it's also very, very evident that with influencer marketing, you can get candid feedback. It's literally in your face. You can see results from the work that these influencers put in. And I just see it going bigger and better, creating new audiences for these brands, and it just makes a marketer's work easier. As long as you're using the right influencers, you're going to reach your goals. So I see that happening all through.
I love that. Thank you. Because I think just using the right influencers, I feel like everybody has like their favorite influencer who
Yeah,
they listen to for certain topics. So that is where like because the way like Google and just everything is just being shaky right now. I think that's
yeah.
yeah, influencer marketing definitely is on the rise. On Yechi to like just the product marketing perspective, like what do you think about like the future of marketing in 2024?
Okay. I sort of prepared for this. I'm just going to try to, run with what I prepared. So I think of it in three ways. So I think everyone has mentioned AI, and I think the only way that, or the, not the only way, the best way that, and this is speaking as someone who is working at a company building an AI tool specifically for marketers, is the only way that I think marketers can make the best use of all of these AI tools is first of all, we need to be clear on the goals that you already have. I think that there are too many AI tools. It's like you can like choke again because I work in the field. I have to see so many AI tools every single day. That's like what is on my Google alerts. Like, oh, what are the new tools? So there are a lot of tools, and if you get into and at the end of the day, at the core, all of these tools work similarly. What marketers need to do is to be able to understand that the goals that we have, because those goals don't change. You want to engage with your users, you want to get more people to know your product. What you need to do is to understand what tools solve that problem for you. If not, you're going to find that AI, instead of making your life easier, is making your life so much harder because you're spending so much time on all of these different tools. And I think there's that. I think the second thing is that for product marketers specifically in 2024, I know a lot of like marketers don't like to get too technical, but unfortunately, I think product marketers are going to need to get a lot more technical. You're going to need to be able to interact with the product deeper. This is coming from me, who has worked both with really great growth marketing people, really great growth PMs, and really great product managers as well. I think that the effect of all of those people in the pipeline is really, it's really amazing. You get a lot more targeted marketing and all of that. And once product marketers are able to integrate and understand data in the way that it can make your marketing better, you can create strategies and segments that are a lot more data focused. It's going to help with personalization. It's going to help with like creating the right user flows. So something that I did this year in preparation for that, for example, was to start taking data analytics courses. And nobody expects that you become like an SQL genius, but it's really important or helpful if you can pull out data that you need to make your marketing strategies more segmented. That's where we are going to in 2024. And I think the last thing is in events. And maybe that this is like a more personal one for me. I think that because I work in like B2B SaaS, events marketing or being a part of events is a big part of our strategy for marketing and acquiring new customers. So what I'm going to see that is going to happen with that is that product marketers need to shift away from thinking of only remote events and start consciously thinking of hybrid events. A lot of people are tired of being at home. And it's like now is a good time for you to engage your customers in small clusters, mixing remote and like in person. But you really want to at this point start being more in your customers' faces, having that more personal, physical connection with them because I know where gifts is, but because well, this is the time. People are tired of being remote. People are tired of being at home alone all the time. And it's more convenient, but people are tired because human beings are social creatures. So product marketers need to start thinking in that way as well. How can you move strictly from having some sort of like virtual connection with your users and engage them physically? So for me, those are the sort of predictions that I have for how product marketing will change in 2024. Sort of evolve. Yeah. Now that Gift is not here, maybe I should be like the next moderator. So the next question,
I mean, that would be fine too. I
um,
think. Good job.
Let's run it.
um, so as the next question, I'll ask this to Oiza. Oh, Gift is back. Gift, I was going to take your job for but here we are. You're back.
I'm
Welcome
sorry.
back. James.
I'm sorry. As we established before backstage, I'm in Lagos. You're all in the UK. So please pardon like my internet. It's a bit sketchy, but I'll try my best to be here always. Thank you very much, Onyinyechi. I was catching what you said about like event marketing. I think that is so like interesting how that is like evolving in 2023 and how it will evolve more in 2024. I think that is super like important for us. Like you just see that I recently went for like an event because I just started working for like a B2B company as well. And I realized that we wanted to get like certain leads and we saw that this event was going to potentially help us get those leads. And when we did, like we got like the leads that we haven't like gotten from like
Mhm.
some of like our marketing efforts that we we wanted we've done in the past. So thank you so much for sharing that. I'm just going to go like to the next question, which is more about like skill development, which is like a central thing. And you mentioned the fact that you're taking like a Google Analytics course. It looks like there's always like a continuous learning process for every marketer to be able to thrive. So let's just talk about skills now. So what skills or competencies should marketers like prioritize to remain competitive in 2024 within your niche? I'm going to start now with Oiza, and then we'll just move around.
I'm not sure if you heard when Onyinyechi was going to start with me, but okay.
I'm a
Oh,
prophet. I'm in my Chima prophecy era, so I'm a prophet. Yeah.
I realized that I feel so like I think a lot of the conversation we're going to be having today, there's going to be a common theme around everything that we say, whether it is influencer marketing or like product marketing or content marketing, because at the end of the day, there's that fundamental piece around it, marketing. So it was as if Onyinyechi already knew what I was about to say, because I actually called out three things, and there are a lot more that I have like are skills that you can develop, but three things I wanted to call out in terms of skill development. The first being analytical skills. And the reason I say this is as a growth marketer, and just in the space of what I do, you really can't do anything without data. And they, no matter what you're doing, you can only do it to actually to a very little extent if you do not understand your user and what you're doing. And you can't do that if you don't have some form of analytical skills, if you can't identify like patterns or jump and understand like where are like potential trends that are springing up, or where you see potential opportunity for growth, or where you see people interacting in certain ways. So as a growth marketer, the first thing you should be thinking about is really honing on your analytical skill. If you, like me, are in a place where you have a data science person attached to you when you work, great. But even for you to be able to interpret whatever that data science person is bringing to you, you do need some bits and pieces of analytical knowledge. So whatever you do, gain analytics. And the second bit is storytelling. And I say storytelling because the people that you're marketing to are getting smarter by the day. In fact, they are getting more, and I don't say smarter from an insultive point of view. I say smarter from a point of they want more. That what you're giving them is not enough. Now they expect even more from you. Gone are the days where things were just more like, you do some campaign offline and then you're good and everybody's fine. they want more, and in fact, they don't want you. They have preferences. They don't want you to use their data anyhow. They don't want you um, to engage with them in certain manners. They don't want you to interrupt their journey when they're like on socials or whatever they're in. So your storytelling needs to be apt in a way that doesn't feel disruptive to the person that you're marketing to, but in a way that also like connects to the culture of the person that you are marketing to. Because at the end of the day, for brands, for individuals, for you to really be able to get your audience, you really need to get into their culture. And once you get in there, you are able to connect with them wherever they are. So your storytelling skills, you definitely need to hone that. And the last is communication. Um, I said communication because I don't know, some months back, I think I was working on a project, and one of the insights that we sort of saw is like, people don't want you to speak in big grammar. They don't want you too many English. Go straight to the point. Tell me what you're doing and what you're selling to me. We all know that you're selling. So just go straight to the point and tell me exactly what it is. So nobody, for instance, wants to know all of the technicalities of your product, like all the AI terms you're using, like nobody cares. They want you to tell me exactly what it's going to do for me and how that's going to help me. So as a growth marketing person, when you build out campaigns or begin to like plan out some of those engagement, whether you're trying to do in product or you're trying to like get out there in their face, make sure that your communication is actually strong. And this might be different for like also the different audience groups, whether it is a particular country or a particular region. That is where the first one we talked about, data analysis, comes in. But your communication has to be strong, and you need to be able to understand what your users want and to communicate that directly or effectively to them. And I'll stop there so that every other person can speak.
Awesome. So analytics, storytelling, communications. I really love what you said about like just communicating everything that's complex easier. And which actually leads me to a question, because I mean still the same question, but to Chima, because I know that content writing, like sometimes like you are marketing very complex products, right? And you have to communicate that like in the easiest format. So like what first of all, what are like, some of the things that you do to make sure that you are writing to for clarity for anybody who's like reading like any products that you are marketing, and also like what are some skills that people can hone as content marketers listening.
All right, just to make sure that I'm getting the question, skills to hone for content marketers going into 2024, and what was the next one again? The first one, sorry.
I'm just talking about like communicating as simple as possible, because I know that content writing is a way to do that. So like what are some of like the tips that you use to communicate like more?
Okay. So yeah, everything always I said, I 10,000% agree with everything she said, because it's literally like the same skill set that I had in my head about what we need to be developing going into 2024. So I just want to highlight two things she said about storytelling and writing in simple grammar. Anybody who follows me on LinkedIn or social media knows that I'm always talking about the importance of being able to get to the point as quickly as possible. Brevity will always be your best friend. If you cannot organize your thoughts in a logical way that helps people to understand why your arguments or what you're saying is valid, then you lose your audience. It goes if you're trying to build thought leadership. It goes if you're trying to grow an audience. It goes if you're trying to sell a product. It goes if you're trying to grow content marketing. It goes for anything marketing related. The ability to communicate and to communicate clearly, and that clear communication starts with using simple English, starts with organizing your thoughts clearly, starts with having data backed arguments, and starts with also being open to feedback. So I think communication, I also think storytelling, like you can never overestimate the importance of storytelling, especially if you sell products. Every time I am talking about a product and I want it to appear organic, I start with a story, because the story is what hooks the reader. When people are scrolling on LinkedIn, they're scrolling on Twitter, they're scrolling on their feeds, that first line, that first two lines that gets them to click on that see more, That is what you want. You want whatever you're saying in that first two lines to capture their attention and then get them to pause, stop, read, and click. A story will achieve that every single time, but it cannot be clickbait, because the more clickbait you use, the more people are going to start becoming suspicious, and before you know it, nobody's clicking see more on your content because they know that that's what you're all about. So regarding skills to develop, I would say, again, agree with Oiza, data literacy is still back to what I was talking about with us going into using more AI tools. And I feel like same thing with what Onyinyechi was saying. You need to have some sort of data literacy. You need to be able to understand data. You need to be able to draw your own conclusions so that you can be more independent when you want to, will I say, work on projects, lead projects, because that's what everybody is looking for. If you want the glory for something, then you need to be able to go in there and do the work yourself, and that means being able to understand data. I would say another skill is algorithm understanding. You can't work in content marketing or SEO and not be thinking in terms of algorithms, because in fact, I don't even need to tell you the because. If you work in SEO and content, you need to know the because. It's like your bread and butter, and it's evolving. It's evolving at a mad pace these days. So I would say, I don't know, I don't want to say take a course in machine learning, but if you can, yes, take a course in machine learning to understand how it works. Next one will be ethical decision making. The more we're relying on AI to automate and to create for us, the more important it becomes to understand that thin line between personalization and intrusion. Like Oiza said, people are becoming more skeptical about how they give brands their data and how brands are using this information. So you have to be very careful, and you need to understand how to use AI and how to use the information from these AI tools ethically. There's a lot of courses out there. I think Moz just put out a course, yes, not a course, a blog yesterday on should I pay you to use AI for my SEO? And it basically talks about the ethics of using AI. I think everyone should read that. The other one is adaptability. As AI is evolving rapidly, when I say rapidly, I mean, as Onyechi said, every day there's like a new, not one, there's like hundreds dropping every day. So you need to be able to be adaptable to all these new tools that are coming out, to the new functions, to the new updates, so that you can use them in your workflow. And again, back to using them the right way. But I think the most important that is going to set everyone apart, and by everyone I mean those who are taking their job seriously going into next year, is strategic thinking. How can we think more strategically in a way that makes us stand out from AI? And let me tell you, I use ChatGPT, I use Claude, I use a lot of AI tools in my day to day. None of them are strategic thinkers. None of them can replace us when it comes to thinking strategically, bringing out advanced ideas. It is what you feed it in that it's going to give back to you. It's literally garbage in, garbage out. So it needs someone to be able to give it that input. And that is someone who is thinking strategically. It can perform tasks, but formulating that cohesive strategy, it's always going to need a human. So for this, I don't think there's a course you can take that can teach you strategy. It can teach you the basics, but strategy comes by doing. So I need everybody to start thinking of how they can start engaging in more diverse projects. Start um, going outside of your bubble, going outside of the things that you're comfortable with. I've started to, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I started to like explore more technical stuff like BigQuery, like JavaScript. See how my voice is going low. Don't tell anybody this. Just trying to like understand all the other stuff so that I can be more strategic in my thinking, and it can allow me to solve more problems. So I would say those are like the big ones to focus on: strategic thinking, adaptability, ethical decision making when you're using AI, understanding how algorithms work as they continue to evolve, especially with I don't know what Google's AI is called. I'm not taking it seriously yet. And also bad from Microsoft, understanding how they work, and then data literacy that helps you to analyze data. Yeah, I think those are the two things.
There's bad from Google, not from Microsoft.
Oh, bad is Google. Is bad Google? What the shit? Check me. Wait. No, it's not. I'm not talking about Google. Then which one is Microsoft? Which one is Microsoft on? That's the one I'm talking about. That is the one I'm talking about.
I thought
Microsoft AI. Which one is that?
I thought Microsoft was like OpenAI or
No, no, no. Microsoft. Sorry, I didn't mean Microsoft. I meant shit. What is Google's competitor? There is another search engine apart from Google.
My mic is on mute.
um
There's another search engine apart from Google. What's their name? Look at how. Wait. What is it called? Binge. Yes, Binge. It's Binge. Oh my God, man.
The amount of
Yo,
shit.
this is actually this is shameful. I feel like you should cover your face.
Very shameful, man.
And
I
the
was talking
first
about
comeback was
Binge,
so
man. I was talking about
legendary.
Binge. Guys, I'm not trying to take Google seriously because they're not there. I was talking about Binge, man. See, thank you for that check. What is that? I deserve it. I deserve it. I deserve it. I deserve it. I deserve it.
Oisa said, let me check you real quick.
She said, let me check you. Let me check you. You're not going to come for me and not
What
have
you're
your
not
facts.
going to do right now is that.
You will not have your facts and be coming for me. This is so much fun. This is so much fun.
Yeah,
This is so
because
much
the
fun.
battle
this is so much fun. Like, thank you. I really love like this healthy shade. I think that Google always finds a way to always like be successful. So this is like a practical example of how that usually happens. So
yeah.
super happy to have everyone like in this room today. And just for before I get to like Shei and Yunichi, if there's anyone like if there's something that you're learning from this, you can tweet about it and then tag us as Marketers Hub and also use the hashtag marketing in 2024. So we just know like the insights that you're gaining from this. And then please keep like the comments coming. And if you have questions, we'll soon get into question time. So just like have those questions ready. You can actually type them in the chat and then we'll get to them. If you have something for a specific marketer, just let us know and then we'll get to them. And then I'm very sorry to anyone who like came here for Uchechi. We're not able to get through to her, so I'm not sure why, but we'll communicate like if there's any like progress in that. But sorry, if you have like any social media like question, specific question, Shei's here with like he uses like the social media influencer marketing. You can also give like perspective when you choose.
Nigeria.
This is the problem of living in Nigeria.
Nigeria will
Well, Gift was just going to say Onyechi is here as well. So if you have any questions regarding social media,
yeah.
What is this?
Because Nigeria will harass
Pity
you.
hard now, pity hard. I just escaped not long ago, so I know, pity hard. Escaping is not easy.
We're definitely not blaming her. It's not
and I think that
We are not blaming her. She's doing a great job. But
In fact,
honestly,
yeah.
Nigeria with Nigeria at any opportunity. Because what the hell is this?
for us to have been doing this for 45 minutes and she was
And
here.
she's only gone twice. Yeah.
Yes, now she
It
has
should have
tried
been 5. You're
But
living
yeah,
in a good area.
5, 6, 7 times.
I'm actually one of the best places.
Exactly.
You're living
So
in a good
don't worry,
area. You're
we're
living
not
in a good
complaining.
area.
Perhaps one of the things we should put for next year is that the Nigerian government should improve access for.
They're not doing anything.
No,
They're not
that's
doing
not a
anything.
prediction. That's a prayer. That's a prayer. That's not a prediction.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm so
Gift, you're
sorry.
doing great. You're doing great. Don't complain.
You're
We're
doing
just
good, don't
roasting you
worry.
because you live in Nigeria, but we just had to. It's like,
And we
you
know.
know?
We know.
We understand you, don't worry.
Thank you, diaspora people. Thank you very much. And then I would try. I'm using like 2 different internets to show you how like I try to be here.
Chai.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Oh my
Anyway,
goodness.
where was I? I mean, I was talking about like social media marketing. If you have
Yes,
specific,
we're about to get into
Mhm.
yeah, so if you have like any specific social media marketing question, please just drop them in the chat and then there'll be someone to like answer it from our esteemed like guests today. So next question I just want to ask like Shei what you think about like just skills we should hone, also about like just maybe your perspective on like platforms like people should
Yeah.
also like as well as like content creators and then influencers. Just what are your thoughts on that?
That's a really good question. Oiza mentioned how important storytelling is. I cannot I can't even tell you how important it is. The art of storytelling is the best thing you would learn as a marketer or a content creator. Like I remember I'm gonna raise up this masters again. And you are gonna come for me. But during my masters, like one of the best modules I did was the art of storytelling. And I like thankfully I've always been a really good storyteller. If I would tell you something, like the way I would narrate it to you, like you'll be immersed in what I'm saying, right? And that has helped me as a creator generally. So if I tell you something, I will take you on that journey, and when you said, when they ask you, you say, you were there. It's not like as if they told you, you were there. And I cannot seem to tell you guys how important it is, like when passing across a message, especially with the fact that I'm a video creator, right? So I have to like, and we all know how people's time spans now, they've reduced drastically, right? So if I am not hitting my point in the first 10 seconds, in fact, 10 seconds is long nowadays because now people just swipe, you get. So my entry is very, very important. So if I am not hitting the nail on the head in that first point, like Chima also mentioned when writing, it applies same to videos, and it's even worse when it comes to videos. So if you're not hitting it or you're not doing something captivating, you're going to lose your audience. So it's very important to me whenever like I am trying to pass a message. This is not even when it comes to brands alone. It comes to when I'm even just like making my normal regular content. I have to, so like I do get ready with me's now, and whenever I'm making fashion content, I try to use like catchy phrases to start. So now in my next video that's coming up, I'm going to say, get ready with me to go and steal somebody's girlfriend. Are you not going to listen to that video? How are you not going to listen to that video? Where is it going? Why is it going to steal somebody's girlfriend? Why would you do that? Do you get? And that way already, I've already captured your attention. Now let me deliver my work. So it's very important to be able to engage with people. So like you have to find ways in order to engage with your audience. Another thing is community building. Especially as a creator, it is very important. Like if not for because like the analytics is terrible right now for creators, right? It's very terrible. And it seems like as if we're not getting to the right audience. So if people are not looking for you, you may get lost in the sauce. So that's why it's important to build community. So as a creator, that's one thing I've always like learned how to do. So if it's to do lives, to hold lives, to respond to comments, to try and be engaging, respond to their DMs. If they ask a question, or where did you buy this? Even though it's not a sponsored video, I will respond. That way they're building trust in me. So when Google, for instance, now comes to me, because I have to add Google to this thing. So if Google now comes to me now that I should do brand work for them, I'm going to say, oh yeah, they're going to see the line of work I've done before. And then that way it's going to help me. You get. So community building is very, very important as well. And you asked me one more question in relation to apps. Yeah, so if you're trying to build, I feel like a lot of brands are still not taking advantage of TikTok. My goodness, the rate at which TikTok has helped a lot of people. So before I became a content creator full time, I used to work with an agency as a creator, like create user generated content and stuff like that. And I have been able to I helped a particular brand go from about 5,000 followers to 39,000 followers in the space of like 4 months, right? And that's because we're dishing out relatable type content, we're dishing out funny content, but not also shying away from the brand's guidelines and like still maintaining their tone of voice, right? And it's very, very important to utilize TikTok. That is the app to use. That is the app if you're trying to create brand awareness, if you're trying to reach the right people. There's no community you're looking for that is not on TikTok. And utilizing influencers, utilizing creators to reach your audience is something that you cannot run away from. You get. So I would advise creators or like influencer marketers to like hone more communication skills, like they've mentioned before, learn the art of storytelling, try to like work with creators that actually know what they're doing. If I'm tackling a brief right now, I'm not just looking at the money. I'm trying to see, okay, what can I do? Like how effective will I be on this brief? You get. So like see my strengths. I'm like, okay, does this work for my audience? Because a lot of people get jobs now that I'm like, how were you given this brand deal? Like, it's not in relation to you, right? Me now, like I said, like I don't have a niche, thankfully, because like I'm an online personality. I can do anything. Today you can see me cooking. Tomorrow you can see me at a concert making a reaction video, and I'm living my best life. And although people try and run away from non-niche creators because they're like, oh, they want to target a specific niche, we are like the wild cards that can help you sell everything and anything, right? And with that, with the way I try to now pick the brands I get to work for, is okay, can I deliver this, or is this just going to be shabby? Like, so if it's not for me, or if it doesn't align with my goals, I wouldn't do it, right? And I feel like that's another skill people need to learn. They need to learn to not pick everything. Like, you need to know what is meant for you. If you create just food content, why are you working with I don't want to mention any specific brand, but why are you working with a brand that is not aligned with you in any way? You create advice videos, but you're on a music campaign that is all the way in a different range from what you're doing. Do you get, like, then how do your followers actually relate to this directly with you? So I feel like that's what people need to learn, and yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shay. As you were mentioning like TikTok, I was just like keep quiet because my boss Aisha is like has been telling me to use TikTok for a while now. Just be like
It's very important. It's very
just been sharing away from me. So thank you for adding to my JD. So the last person here is Onyechi. You just talk about like what you think skills like product marketers should own to be able to stand out in 2024.
Yeah. So because we are short on time, I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. I think the most important one, and it's like everything everyone has said for product marketers specifically, would you need to understand the product development process a lot better. A lot of like product marketers I know sort of like sit at one end. So you don't know how your company is building the product. You don't know how anything works. You don't know. Oh, because the job of a product marketer is pretty much to sit between all the customers and your company, and that's where you sit. And of course, you sit with in that place, whether that's with sales, whether that's with customer support, but you sit in the middle. And if you don't understand how you're building your product, like how your product is being built, then you can't do your job. You need to, because very recently, okay, I can share some information, but it's like, I speak with startups as well, and I know some startups that, for example, your product marketer is not an integral part of your product development process. So your product is completely built, and then you bring marketing on after to market the product. But they don't know anything about the product. They don't know the value prop. They don't know the USP. How are you going to create positioning? How are you going to create messaging? So for product marketers, and I always say that the best product marketers are the people who can work in any industry. Yeah. So really start understanding how product development processes work. Nobody's telling you to become a product manager. Nobody's telling you to understand how to code, but understand that to add a chatbot on an app takes this amount of time and needs this amount of resources. So is it the most important thing at this time? Understand that this is the way that they build AI tools on a very high level, but that information is going to help you stand out, because believe that a lot of companies that are hiring right now, if that's your goal, are looking for product marketers who have some sort of technical understanding. So just learn it on a very high level, read a little more, explore a little more. Nobody's asking you to stop being a marketer, but like understand the products as well. That's it.
All right, thank you, very much. Unfortunately, Chima had to drop off because she had another conflicting meeting. So, but don't worry, if you have any questions specifically for Chima, we can always communicate with her and then share that content after this. So, if you have any questions, please do keep them coming. And thank you so much, Onyechi, for that perspective. I think it's super important. Product marketing is super it's so cross functional with different departments outside marketing, and I think that's is super important for you to be part of that product development process. So thank you for that. And if anyone has any questions, I think there's been so much insight shared so far that has been so profound. So if you have any questions, I know that I don't really have any questions that I had in mind. I feel like everything has been answered here. But if you have questions, please like keep them coming in the chat and we would get to them. So I just have like a final question to like, all the marketers sitting here. And it's just like a um personally for you, because next year like people are want to be better, and then they want to be better because they actually want to get good roles. So like in your opinion, right, what kind of marketer like would you hire? So let's say like for your specific niche, so like always like what kind of good marketers are you like hiring next year? I know you already talked about your skills, like not everybody's going to have everything, but what are some things that you look at in somebody's like portfolio in their CV and just say that if you're part of like a hiring team, like this person is has like a lot of potential, and I'm going to hire this person. So I've mentioned Oyster, so I'm just gonna start with you.
Okay. I don't hire. I'm not hiring, but I think that first, some of the things that I personally would look out for someone who wants to get a role in growth marketing is one, do they put the user first? I know that you're working for a brand, but I also need to understand that the perspective that you're thinking about this is from the person that you're selling to. And um, in how you communicate, in how you engage, in how you put your strategy together, I would like to think that you're putting the user first. Second is someone who is a strong collaborator. You can do things by yourself, but even in growth marketing, like you have like so many parts that you need to connect to. So if you're the kind of person that is all unknowing and feel that your way is either your way or the highway, we can't do like I won't be thinking about you as a growth marketer. So a marketer who is not set in their ways, who isn't rigid, but who is also very eager to learn. I think that the other bit also is that you need to be experimental. Someone who is not afraid to experiment. I'm not saying experiment to go and break things, so I mean like just like thinking about new things, like new processes, new strategy, or new platforms, or how you can try out like new engagements that you probably haven't tried before. So just to cut it short, you put the user first. You are a collaborator. You are a marketer who is not set in their ways, eager to learn, ready to learn. So it's not like this strategy has been working for 10 years. This strategy shall we continue to use? Mm-mm. And then that you have to be very experimental. Of course, we've talked about the analytical part, but I want to assume that that's already the fundamental. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I think like it's super important to be a collaborator, especially if you're trying to like work for a global team, which is of course a big team and then more people too. So you have to be able to learn how to collaborate. So that was very like stand out. So thank you very much, Oiza. Before I get to Oyechi and then I can see that Uchechi is live now. I don't know if she can hear us. Maybe just to do a bit of introduction. We're almost done, but just a bit of
Yeah.
introduction. And hi, Uchechi. So happy to have you here.
Hi. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone.
So happy to have you here.
Sorry, everyone. Thank you so much to the amazing speakers. I am sincerely sorry for keeping everyone waiting. It was beyond my controls. But I'm so glad to be here, and I hope to learn and share with the little time we have left. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Definitely, I have like just like the question to answer because just your perspective from like taking like marketing perspective in the brief way possible. But just like to answer right now, we're answering the question about like if you're hiring or if you're part of the hiring team or not, like what would you say that is in the like to be in the CEO? What kind of like portfolio are you going to look at in this strategy? I can hire this person who has like potential for hiring. But I'll get back to you, Chief. I just want to get from you here and Shirley's perspective, and then we'll just get back to you. All right. And you, Chief, can you just share what's
Okay. So just so I understand the question, because I did have to step away for a minute. If I were on a hiring team, what would I be looking for if I'm hiring a product marketing manager? Hmm. I've been in this position quite a few times, both for like companies I was working for or like companies that wanted me to help them hire. Um, and that's why I'm asking that everybody understands the product development process because I cannot hire or recommend hiring someone who has no technical skills, who doesn't understand how product development works, who, yeah, I'm so sorry, I just can't recommend someone who doesn't. I think the second thing is collaboration, um, which really leads, it's sort of like it's connected to the first thing because product marketing is at the core a cross-functional role. I spend a lot of my day in meetings, and when I'm not in meeting, I'm answering Slack conversations from designer or somebody else or somebody else or somebody else. And so you need to understand on the basic how those teams work so that you can help them perform better. And I think the third thing is research. A big part of my job is research across different like regions. Whether it's researching about competitors or talking to customers to understand how I can make like products better. I need to always like I would always hire someone who at the core is curious about customers' needs, curious about how they can make the customer, appreciate the product more. So, I need someone that is definitely like curious. And I think finally is just storytelling generally. Even though product marketers, I don't write as much as I used to anymore. I don't even do like scripting as much as I used to, which product marketing in different organizations look different. But I influence how the copywriters that work at my company create copies. And I influence how like the video editors work as well because I understand the value of the product the best and I understand the users the best as well. So you don't have to, again, this is from my experience and where I currently work, you don't have to be a pro copywriter. And you don't have to be like a pro video editor or whatever, but you do need to be able to represent um, product value in the way that your users understand. So those are the things that I would look out for or that I have looked out for when I'm hiring for a product marketer.
All right, thank you very much, Angie. That is super like relevant. Just I just really love the fact that this panel is just talking about like similar themes. So even though like there are different like niches here, there's also like something that's just sort of binds us together. So thank you very much for sharing, and also share you from your perspective. If you were saying that this person is like a good content creator or somebody that you think that has the potential to actually rise to you know become like really great, like what are the things that this person, what are some of the characteristics that this person will have?
I will say you have to be very creative. Like creativity is very important in this business. Like you have to be really, really creative. You have to know what type of content you have to create, and you have to be really consistent. So if you're somebody that is not ready to be consistent, then this business is not the one for you. Because if you want to stay relevant, you have to keep pushing out content. And yeah, so if I was me, I don't hire anybody, Sha, they used to hire me. So, but like if I was to hire somebody, I would say it's very okay. So, speaking from even working with agencies and stuff like that, when hiring like an influencer marketer, because I've spoken to a few and I've had encounters with a few people that are not nice, that are not kind, and their communication skills are not the greatest. So I would say, please, like, people should try and be kinder, actually hire and employ people that want to do the work, that would be able to speak to these influencers or like their agents well, because like if from communication via email I can already tell that it's not working, then how am I meant to work on a campaign for you? So like I would say employ kinder people, employ social media savvy people as well. There's some people that are not as savvy on social media that are working in social media, and I can't understand it. Like if you're not up to trends, how are you going to keep honing your tone of voice, which is a very another important thing. You need to hire people that would understand the tone of voice of the brand that they're working on. It's very important. You understand? So that's my own. Just keep hiring people that know what they're doing and that can be consistent. And to creators out there, I think you just keep being you, because that's the first thing. The reason why you're doing so well is because people see something in you. Your person could be your personality, it could be your editing skills, it could be just the way you talk. So me now, they like the way I can switch accents. 1 minute I'm speaking like a British person, next minute I'm talking like as if I just finished eating a bar. I've put something in my mouth and it's very hot. So things like that. That's the way you are. I'm very quirky, I'm very funny. That's the way I can target my audience. So whatever you're doing, try and hone your craft and be really good at it.
Right, awesome.
Are you
Thank
clapping?
thank you. We are like we are really like running out of time, but I there's still like there are very great questions like coming up, and then we'll just get to them. But I just want to give like Uchechi like some time to also speak as well. Just first of all, just like maybe a brief introduction about you, and then also like what are your predictions for like social media marketers, like Shay just like talked about like being social media savvy, which just like launched into you. So, what are some skills that, first of all, what are the predictions of social media marketing for 2024 that you have? And then, what are also skills that you think that social media marketers can hone to actually stand out in their fields? And first of all, sorry, apologies, everyone. We might go a bit above time, but please bear with us. We'll be done very soon.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Uchechi Ihoma, and I'm the creative lead and founder of a really cool social media agency based in Lagos, Nigeria, Contently Curated. We simplify social media marketing for e-commerce and lifestyle brands. Honestly, if you consider your brand really cool, you should come to Contently Curated. We'll handle it for you. But yeah, I was going to say something to answer Gabe's question. Predicting social media in 2023 is literally one of the most dangerous things you can do from my experience working in social media. Because listen, January 1st will come, social media will flip everything you know about social media. So what I can say as a social media person is stay learning. That's all I can just tell you. Stay learning, keep your ears or your eyes. How do they say that? Just stay, keep your ears to the ground and see what's happening. Like that's just the only way to stay ahead as a social media manager. I have 8 years experience as social media manager and 4 years running my business. And what has really helped is just staying ahead. Like, oh, this has happened. I mean, when I started, there was no TikTok. Now there's TikTok. In the course of adjusting to TikTok, Instagram came with threads, and we have seen social media apps come and go. We've seen Clubhouse come, Clubhouse go. Be Real has come, Be Real has gone, right? And it just keeps. I can literally count how many I've seen. I remember clearly when Instagram launched, what's it called, IGTV. Everybody thought that was the end of YouTube, but listen, YouTube is still here. Instagram stories. Oh, and Instagram is an expert in copying other people. So they will come, they will shake you, they will go. But what I can tell you is at the core of your skill, have this foundation that is deeply rooted in learning, because I feel like the greatest social media manager, even generally across any field, the greatest people who would make it are not those people who are the fastest or the smartest, are actually the people that can learn, relearn, and unlearn. It would always keep you ahead once you're able to learn, relearn, and unlearn, because it's fast paced. So that's all I can say on this.
Right. Thank you very much, Ushishi. That was really short and sweet. Which actually is there's like there's an inside joke with like Google. It feels like everybody tries to like stand up and then tries to destroy Google. But just like IGTV, they didn't like succeed with YouTube. And I feel like Google will always just be there. I feel like if there's my prediction, Google will always remain. So yeah, maybe. Thank you very much, Uchechi, for that. So there are some questions I'm just going to get to very quickly for specific speakers here. Our first question is for Sheyi from Sandra. And then she's talking about like for question is for faster growth as a content creator, is it better to have a niche and double down on it, or would you or what would you advise? What will you advise for growth? Because I know you talked about niche and just knowing yourself. So just yeah, more on that.
Thank you for the question, Sandra. Honestly, it's a very, very important question because I personally don't have a niche. I mentioned it earlier. And it can be really hard, like I mentioned, like working for certain brands. Because some brands are very, very, I want a cooking creator. That is what it is. Like, find me cooking creators. They don't want you making any other content. That's all they want you doing. And it can be difficult, like moving on from that. But I would say for faster growth, yes, a lot. It's going to be easier to just go in a niche for faster growth. It's easier to just have a niche and hone down on it and like double down on it and know that okay, this is what I like to do. I'm just gonna keep going like that. But if you're someone like me who has many interests, right? And you also then know how to navigate through it. So for instance, yesterday I dropped a fashion video. Today is Friday. So today is vibe with Shay content. So it could be a dancing content, reacting to a song, vibing to a song. That's me. Tomorrow, Sunday, you may see a cooking video. It can be anything, right? And it's a lot harder because I have people that come to my page for different things. So I have an audience for different things. People love me for because I know how to cook. I'm a guy that knows how to cook. Oh my God, how can he cook? Oh my God, how can he dance? Oh my God, how can he do this? So I have an audience that can target anywhere. So which is also a benefit to me because then I am very bankable, right? Not saying that you having a niche, you're not bankable. It's just that you are more like safe. You get, so you're more safe and you'll be able to grow. Like if it's a niche that is like the beauty industry will forever be the biggest, it's still the largest. Like you're gonna get customers forever. Like you're not going anywhere. You get, but with me too, I can also get customers forever because I can work for Google today. Tomorrow I am working for Spotify. The next day I am working for Nigeria on their latest campaign. I can work in everything. So yeah, but in regards to your question, if you have a particular niche that you think you're really, really strong at, double down on that. And then you can now start trying to find ways to like introduce your audience to different things. Try a video that is different when you then have the followers and then you see that they're going to become more receptive. If it's not moving, okay, say, okay, wait, they don't like this one. So maybe I should just move back small. You get, so like you have to try trial and error. That's this business for you, my darling. So good luck on your journey. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Shay. I think that was well said. I think that's at the core of it, just to be true to yourself, and I think that your personality shines through everything that you do. So thank you so much, for the joy of you, and then also like for answering that question. The next question is for Oisa from Sandra as well. She's asking, have you ever had a strategy campaign or something that you've worked on as a marketer that failed, didn't go as planned? How did you bounce back from that, and how did you explain to your manager? That's a very good question. Thanks, Sandra.
Thanks a lot, Sandra, for the question. I don't think that we ever really consider anything as failed, especially because from a growth marketing point of view, you're always experimenting. You don't fail. A lot of times you learn. Perhaps you had a hypothesis that you thought was going to give a certain result, and you ended up not giving it. It probably gave another result that helps you understand better what you're supposed to do. And so the first answer to that is failed. No, didn't go as planned. Definitely. We had there were campaigns that we did, or like what we thought was going to go in a certain kind of way, and it didn't go well. But the beauty of it was, at the time of when that happened, there was enough data to back up what we had done. But the results changed otherwise, and so it was much of a learning for us, but even to inform the next strategy. And how I used to be like quite critical of myself, like with this, of detached is the work, and then there's me. And so I didn't exactly bounce back from it because I was never down from it. It's like, this is the work, we did it. this was what we thought we are going to get, but this is what we got out of it instead. And then it's like, how do we apply this to like other areas, or like what are other patterns that we see in this same light that can help improve the strategy for next. Explaining to my manager just like this actually, also because my manager is also very involved in the conversation from the very beginning. So it's not like I pick up an idea and I run with it. It's, this is what I'm thinking, and this is how I think that it's, this is the result that I'm hoping to expect. I can give you an example, but this is not even a campaign. Sometimes like 2 years ago, I was trying to create like a very central process for email marketing, and the central process was like connecting the whole region together to use one process. Because I mean, the company is big, and by the time I put all my strategies together, I did everything A, B, C, and D. It wasn't working. It didn't work as I had planned for it to work. And I went to my manager. I'm like, hey, this didn't work, but we learned A, B, C, and D. If we need to do this again, we need to have this product, this product, this product sorts this. We need to have this infrastructure in place. We need to have this in place. So my manager had information to engage with her own managers and top people to say, you know what, there is like a lag here, and there's something that you need to do. So it's, the communication wasn't a matter of like, here is me or is that failed. It was more like, here's this project. What we thought was going to happen wasn't what happened. This was what we got out of it, and this is what we need to do next to be able to like get this in a better place. So that's it. You unmute, Gift, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Well said, Oza. I think that that's like really good. Like what really stuck out to me was just like, backing up like whatever you do with data. I feel like the data, you're able to just like present yourself better, and your marketer is able to understand, because it's everything is try and error for like, most of like good marketing. So thank you so much for sharing that. We have a few more questions before we go. This one is for Onyinyechi. Um, can you explain further on the technical background aspect for product marketing managers, like knowing how product development works?
Okay. So there's this question, and I think there's the next question. So I'll just sort of, I think it's around the same thing, which is like technical knowledge for product marketers, and I'll just merge them and I'll answer them because we are short of time. So when I say, first of all, I want to be clear. When I say technical knowledge as a PMM, I'm not asking you to know how to code or anything, please. What I'm asking you is to understand the process of product development on a high level. So you don't need to know how to code or how to be like Java or any of those things. No. What I'm saying is understand time investments, understand the amount of resources that go into an idea so that you're able to match data and help the product team prioritize. That's what I mean. And I'll give an example. I had an idea recently on how to share, what to share. I had an idea recently on a way to improve our product specifically for marketing purposes. So it wasn't going to be like a really great thing for users that were already using the product, but it was going to be a really amazing way to drive more people in. Because I understand the entire process of how the product team works at my company, I was able to say, oh, okay, I was able to suggest it as a product sync really just casually, because it's not a lot of investment. It would take like maybe one person, it would probably take the person 2 days, but I think it would be really impactful for marketing. And then I backed it up by saying, oh, these are our competitors are doing this XYZ, and people are using our product in this way. So it would be really good if we're able to do this thing. And it was out in like 2 days. But that's only because I understand the product development process. So I know that that particular thing is low effort. So in general, you need to understand how your product team works. And that's what I mean by like technical knowledge. Just know how it works, know how long it takes, and all of this kind of stuff. And the next question is if I know any courses or resources. I'm really sorry, but I do not. Maybe I can look for and probably share on my channels if I find any. But how I learned how this worked was by working across different sort of like industries, and consistently being curious, asking PMs and technical people on your team, How long will it take? Okay, why will it take that long? Okay, can I understand? Because when you're curious, then that's how you get like more information. I'm sure that there are courses and books that people can read to understand again just the high level of product development and prioritization across like technical teams. But I unfortunately don't have any of those resources to share. So you can, in the meantime, if you're working on a product team, be curious, ask your PM questions. Like your PM should really be like your best guy at your office. Your PM is really going to help you to like put all of your ideas into like development or not. So yeah, so that's how I did it, and that's what I mean by technical knowledge. I hope I answered both Enito and Aisha. And I would like on my own look out for I would ask like PMs I know if there are any resources, and I'll share on my channel.
Just one thing on Ingechi, I wonder if like product management foundation courses would help that bit around technical knowledge, where they just get a sense of it. And I know that they're definitely, I mean, very easy is like LinkedIn Learning, but there are definitely
Mhm.
other courses just around PM 101 to have like some.
Yeah, yeah. I think that would help. So if like very very beginner level, so it's nothing deep. You don't get carried away and think that don't focus on your job, but you need that information. It would help you get so much better.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Onyechi. And Oisa for also just adding that as well. I hope your questions have been answered. Okay, I should mention, yes, curiosity. I think that, yeah, I I think product marketers right now are just going to start befriending like, their PMs and just like, getting like the right information from them. So that's a very, very quick, easy leeway, but also like, just taking the courses as well. So thank you very much. I have like a question for Uchechi before. There's a question here from me for the community, but before that, just for Uchechi, like one of the things that we talked about was like skills to like hone and just like how would you categorize like this is a social media marketer and this is their exceptional. What are some of the skills that they should have that will make them actually stand out like outside like constantly learning or like specific skills for like social media marketing.
Okay. So when it comes to social media marketing management and all, is and I believe we spoke on that earlier just when I joined in about content creation skills, communication skills, and all of this like really fancy skills. What I would really recommend for any social media person is to, as much as you focus on these like amazing skills, focus on your soft skills, because that's what I see most people like forget about. So like we're talking about like building your emotional intelligence, people management, what else? I'm trying to think off the top of my head, your creative skills, because your content creation skills, your bad editing skills, or how to grow accounts rapidly will get you into the room quite all right, but it's your attitude that's going to keep you there. So it's really important to build on your emotional, your soft skills. So understand that social media is a very important part of the business right now, and if a brand is entrusting their social media to you, you should know the weight of the responsibility that this business owner that has worked for like 8 years or 5 years or 10 years is entrusting this. It's like giving your bank details to your accountant. You are trusting your accountant to handle your funds right. It's the same way with social media. They're entrusting you to handle their brands right. And based off of my research, I always find most business owners complain that, you know, there's lack of security. They don't trust social media managers enough to even communicate their voice. One thing you know about us is that trust is very important. We understand how you've been hustling, grinding to build your business, and now you're bringing us as a part of your journey to handle your social media. We're here for you. Don't worry. I understand. And applying empathy. I think somebody said it. She said about being kind and or like understanding, empathize with your client, understand your team members. That these are actually human beings that are behind this paying check. These are human beings behind social media, and you have to know that you really have to get beyond the numbers and know that every number counts for an individual. So as much as you want to work on your sharp editing skills for CapCut, TikTok, Canva, it's really, really nice, honestly. But and it will get you into the room, trust me. But it's your attitude, your personal skills that will keep you in there. So think about your personal skills, how you can improve as social media manager, communication, negotiation. Some people don't like to talk about money. I'm like, how do you want to move forward if you cannot say, ma, pay me 100K? No, 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 pay me 50. It's markets. You understand? Like, be comfortable talking about money because these are like soft skills you have to like carry yourself along. So yeah, I would really recommend you hone in on your see Google soft skills to have as a social media manager or soft skills to have anything you want to put behind it, and you see like things that you know that oh I need to work on this better and I need to work on this better. That's what I'll say.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, Uchechi. That was like so well answered. I'm sorry, Onyinyechi had to drop off because we had to catch like another train. But we are basically wrapping up. Like this is basically everything. Thank you so much, like to our speakers who have like joined us today. It's been so like insightful, like hearing from you, hearing about your journey, just hearing like every practical ways from like own perspective. So thank you very much. And for your question, Jude, we have something coming up for like internship and then volunteer opportunities very soon, and then we'll be announcing that. So just subscribe, follow us across like all our social channels, and then we'll get right to you. I don't know. This is this is already ending, but I don't know if anybody has like any last words before we like start our weekend. Shay, over to you. Do you have any last words?
This has been very insightful, and I've actually learned a lot myself. Like, because I never really get to hear from the POV of like a growth marketer or a product, or even a content marketer as well. Social media marketers, I have a big heart for you guys, so I kind of have to relate to them a lot all the time. And yeah, like this is very important. Thank you so much, marketers, for having me. I'm so grateful. This has been very, very educative and educational for me. I'm going to take all the skills I've learned and I'm going to go and implement it in my own content. So thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're very grateful. Is there any last words?
Um, I think first, like Shay mentioned, like thank you so much. It's really nice to be here. Like no, the jabs are hard, painful. But I take it a part of all my futures. It's not like it's not just me. It's just I'm just here. But yeah, this has really been a good one, and I really appreciate you all for having me, and to everyone that joined in to listen. I hope you found something useful out of this. Uh, just remember to stay authentic and bring your personality into what you do because that makes you stand out from like the rest of us and like us from the rest of other people. So, and all the best in your journey.
You. Thank you. That was so well said. Thank you very much, Lisa. And the Google like shade is really coming from heart
The
there.
Google Sheet dropped a lot.
Coming from the heart. So thank you very much. And Uchechi, just any last words before we go?
Thank you, everyone. I again apologize for the setback. I am so sorry. And I wish I could connect more with the speakers because I was looking forward to meet all of you. And then I'm
Oh,
so late. So if I come to your DMs, don't think I'm a bad girl, please. I'm sorry, but it has been so amazing. I think Smarketers, you guys are doing amazing. I really love that we're on StreamYard. Thank you so much for this. It's really cool. I'm enjoying this a lot, and I look forward. Gifts, count me down for anything again. I guess I owe you guys one for showing up late. So please, thank you so much.
All right, I'm definitely taking that and then remembering that. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm just gonna take you guys off stage since I'm like, the MC. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And I really hope that you found it very impactful. Whatever you learned, please like just share, tag us, and then use the hashtag marketing in 2024. We're so happy to have you. And then, like Aisha mentioned in the beginning, for those who didn't join, we have an exciting book coming out very soon, and there'll be more information on our social channels. So keep alert for that. So we'll see you on our next activity. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye, everyone. Bye.